Let me tell you guys about Belly Up Sports. Belly Up Sports is the internet sports bar. Go ahead and check out their website, www.bellyupsports.com, to read some great articles from great writers all across the country, from hockey, baseball, golf, soccer, you name it. Belly Up Sports is the premier, not your average website. The play-in round has been completed, and we got some matches to talk about. We'll start things off with the first play-in game between 7th place Pachuca taking on 8th place Monterrey, which was a 2-1 victory for Pachuca. They had 55% of the possession. They also outshot Monterrey 22-13, 8 shots on target to Monterrey's 5. The first goal came from Monterrey from Beterame in the 51st minute, and then Pachuca sealed it in the 80th minute with a goal from Gabriel in the 82nd and a goal from Rodon in the 87-minute mark. So 7th place Pachuca will be facing 2nd place Club America, meaning that Monterrey will have to face the winner between Juarez and Pumas. And in that game, Pumas defeats Juarez 1-1, 2-1 in penalties. I feel like weather was a factor in this game, or just from what I saw, that it was pretty muggy, pretty hard. Like it was a weird sight. But anyways, the match goes on. But Juarez had 69% of possession. Very nice. Juarez also outshot Pumas 11-7. 4 shots to Pumas, 1 shot on target. But that's all they needed because they got the goal. Another thing, so the goals here came in the 16-minute mark and Puma started the goal scoring with a goal by Martinez from the Pumas in the 16-minute mark. And then Juarez responded in the 20th minute with a goal from Madsen. There was some red cards in this game. We actually a total of 3 red cards in this game. Pumas having the first red card, which was from Martinez in the 35th minute mark. Yes, that's right. The guy that scored the goal also got a red card. So that's as Liga MX. This is prime Liga MX. This is as Liga MX as it gets when it comes to it. To score a goal and then follow it up with a red card. This ain't Liga MX, and I don't know what is. But the other red cards came also, one in stoppage time from Juarez, from Garcia, and the other one came in extra time by Villalpando in the 102nd minute mark. So lots of dramatics on this part, but yes, they went to penalties. They won 2-1. A lot of misses, but it just happens, man. Sometimes 2-1. It's not always a guarantee. Penalties are not guarantees in this world. There's a lot of factors go into that. But yes, 10th place Pumas are moving on to take on 8th place Monterrey to see who gets the final spot in the playoffs, which obviously that means 9th place Juarez is out, which is kind of funny because this is actually how I predicted this was going to go. So the final playing game was 8th place Monterrey taking on 10th place Pumas, which was a victory for Monterrey, a 2-0 victory for Monterrey. Monterrey had 63% of the possession. Monterrey also outshot Pumas 15-6. 5 shots on target to Pumas, 2 shots on target. So some improvement there, but I think this is what we kind of expected from Pumas. Is just they're just not a goal scoring team. That they're not going to put up a lot of shots, and I think that's kind of what was their downfall for this year. But the goals did come from Beterame in the 58th minute mark and by Diosa in the 89th minute. If you're Monterrey right now, you should be feeling really good knowing that Beterame is coming in form, is coming into this to their well, we'll get there. But there's some form there. But yeah, 10th place Pumas is out, and that means 8th place Monterrey will face Toluca in the quarterfinals, which will go right into the quarterfinals. We have first place Toluca taking on 8th place Monterrey. Toluca this year was the best scoring team with 41 goals, also allowed 22 goals, giving them a goal differential of 19. So really not bad at all. Not only were they scoring goals, but they were doing fairly well to hold them off, hold the other teams from putting them in the back of the net. So I think this is kind of what Toluca's been hoping for. They have been going all out, going big on some of their spending have been very active with player acquisitions. Obviously, it goes all the way back to the likes of getting Marcelo Ruiz from Tijuana, getting Volpi, the Brazilian goalkeeper. And then obviously, I think you get a guy like Paulinho, big goal scorer, and for this team the leading goal scorer back-to-back seasons where he is the leading goal scorer in Liga MX. And I think also this what was really strong, a great pickup for them was bringing back Vega after he was let go from Chivas to bring him back to the team where he started, giving him his boost. And look at, I mean, he's been playing very well for Toluca. And I think the big acquisition from this season, specifically the Clausura season, was getting Ache. I think that was a big addition to them. Now, I'm not saying that he's starting every game. He does come off the bench a few times, but he does start also as well. I think that was a good locker room presence. I think one of the things that I still commend Hector Herrera for when he came to the Dynamo was how he was such a raw guy for the locker room. He's just players just gravitated to him. He was just overall just a great person to be around, and it was infectious, and he got the team to build camaraderie. And I think that that's one of a strong and very valuable thing in a locker room. And I think that that's what Ache brought. I mean, it's just a straight glue guy, a guy that you're going to fight for. And I think that that's what we're seeing from this Toluca team. And they're playing great. Obviously, the thing is with Toluca is they've been close, but no cigar. Is this going to be the season where they finally beat those demons and finally lift a trophy after so many years? If they do, it's going to be crazy. But they got to go against Monterrey, who has scored 32 goals this season, have allowed 23, giving them a goal differential of 9. I also want to point out that, once again, Petarame, he is now going back-to-back games with scoring a goal. That's got to take into factor for this team. Defensively, probably on par with Toluca, so that's an interesting part. It's going to really go down to the goal scoring. And I mean, just as well, just obviously clearly Toluca is a great goal scoring team. Monterrey is no slouch either. They're going to be able to compete with this. This is going to be a really good matchup, I think, for Toluca to really solidify themselves as a true title contender in Liga MX. They have to overcome Monterrey. Monterrey is a team that is very well known in Liga MX for going far in tournaments as well. So I think that this is going to be a really good test, a really good matchup for Toluca to see if they're legit or not. Because if they can beat Monterrey, I think that adds more confidence to them moving on to the next rounds. And if Monterrey wins, it just goes back to the never-ending painful saga for Toluca, for them once again having to figure out what they need, what's missing on this team. And honestly, there's not much really missing to this team. This team is doing really well. I think they brought on the right coach with Antonio Mohamed. This team is really solid. But on the flip side, Monterrey is no slouch either. The injury of Sergio Ramos is kind of concerning, but at the same time, I don't think that that's as concerning as Sergio Canales. He did not play in the last game. I'm wondering if they're just trying to rotate him, trying to rest him. I don't know what was the story there, but it is something to point out. But I think Sergio Canales is a very important player for Toluca. Let me just dang. I should have probably figured this out ahead of time, but it's okay. Players mess up. Let's see. Liga MX. There we go. Also important thing to note is Toluca hasn't lost a game in 7 matches. So Ramos is still doubtful with an injury, so we should be seeing Sergio Canales. So yeah. So it'll be a really interesting matchup for that one. I think that this is going to be a good test for Toluca. If Toluca can overcome it, they're going to definitely be riding high going into the next round. And I'm going to predict Toluca. I think Toluca can get it done. I think the injuries are going to be a factor for Monterrey. I think you also are going to be without Salcedo. So we'll see if Toluca can finally get overcome their woes, because obviously last year, I think last season in the Apertura, they were the 2nd seed and got eliminated by America, who obviously then went on to win their 3-peat. So we'll see what happens, man. But Toluca, I'm picking them. I'm going with them, hoping they end up winning the whole thing. I'm just gonna be honest with you. The next matchup is Club America, the team that did eliminate Toluca in the Apertura. They are 2nd place this year. They're taking on 7th place Pachuca in honestly a very interesting matchup. I think this is going to be a good one. Club America has scored 34 goals this year and also was the best defense this season with 10 goals allowed this season, giving them a goal differential of 24. Pachuca scoring 29 goals and giving up 23 goals, giving them a goal differential of 6. Um, yeah, so Pachuca, like, I don't. They're not that far away defensively wise. I think it's harder because Club America has just been very stingy, has been very solid. They had just been a unit. Obviously, they want the four-peat. They want to be historical. This team is historical in in all retrospect. I think this is going to be a big task, but I think Pachuca probably has the team that can do it. Do I think it's going to happen? No, I'm actually picking Club America, but I think Pachuca will be a very big, uh, will be a force to reckon with against Club America. I think this is going to be a very interesting matchup. The question will be how well can Club America prepare against Rondon? I think that's going to be. Excuse me, let me drink some water. It's an interesting matchup. I think that's going to be where everyone's going to be watching is that one right there. Is Club America's defense versus Rondon and the attack that Pachuca has to offer. I will say though, I got once again, I think Pachuca isn't bad defense, isn't terrible defensively. It's just hard when you're comparing it to the best defense, in Liga MX this season. So, but I'm going to pick Club America. I kind of hate that I'm kind of being boring right now with these picks, but I gotta pick defense on this one, so that's where I'm going with. Then the next matchup is third place Cruz Azul versus sixth place Club León. Cruz Azul has scored 26 goals this season, have allowed 16 goals. They are the third best defensive team this in this playoff format, in this playoff group, having goal differential 24. Vicente Sanchez, man, he has his team flowing, and I think that a very good defense, able to put goals in the back of net, which is why they are where they are in Liga MX. Now, in León, on the other hand, they have scored 24 goals this season, have given up 21 goals, giving them a goal differential of 3. Wait a minute. Oof. Okay, the goal differential for Cruz Azul is 10. Yikes, my bad. Players fuck up. Sorry, Kelsey. Sorry for cussing. 10 goal differential. But yes, 26 goals, 16 goals allowed, 10 goal differential. Now, Club León, on the other hand, has scored 24 goals, have given up 21 goals, giving them a goal differential of 3. This is the thing that's going to be important to me will be Cruz Azul's defense. Not necessarily, obviously, still 26 goals is still in a span of 18 games is still pretty good. And Leon, they're not that far away, but Cruz Azul, can they continue to be sturdy on defense? Can they put one in the back of the net when needed? And I think that that's what's going to favor Cruz Azul in this matchup. On the other hand, Club Leon has names. Maybe not the best defensive team, but and not probably not up there when it comes to goal scoring, but they have the names, right? James Rodriguez, one of the best tournament players that I've seen, given that's Colombia, but still, the guy can play in tournaments. The guy can come up big in big moments. So I think that that's important. I think Club Leon right now is just really pissed off. If you're Club Leon, they have like a massive chip on their shoulder, right? They just got removed. As a matter of fact, it has been confirmed as of today, as of this recording, when we're recording this on Tuesday. It has been confirmed that Leon is not going to get their approval to return to Club World Cup once again because of multi-ownership, because they're also part of the Pachuca group. That is the reason why they cannot compete. So they are not going to be in it. The winners, the team that gets decided is going to be in a matchup between LAFC, the team that they beat in the CONCACAF Champions Cup, and America, which in CONCACAF rankings, competitive coefficient, I guess you can say, they are rated as the best team in all of CONCACAF. So yes, Club Leon has such a massive chip on the shoulder. I think that that's a big factor to follow into this game, because that changes everything to me. I think that really changes everything to me. They are pissed off. They hate everybody, and they're gonna make sure that they have a statement performance to make it be clear we're no one's slouch. And because of that, I'm picking Club Leon to beat Cruz Azul. I, I'm sorry. I think that there's a massive chip on their shoulder. I think they're in this first leg, hopefully, in this first leg, they're going to make a massive statement where Cruz Azul maybe in that second leg is just not going to be able live up to it, which I hope not. I hope it stays competitive. I hope all these matches in the first leg have it that where the second leg is going to be competitive. But I'm feeling Club Leon. I think that there's a dog mentality amongst this group that they just feel wronged, and they did get wronged. They did win the Champions Cup. They did what they were supposed to do to make it to the FIFA Club World Cup, and FIFA was just like, no, because you're also owned by another team that's in the tournament because Pachuca is also competing in it. So yeah, if I'm Club Leon, I'm pretty pissed off. So we'll see what happens. I'm picking Club Leon. I'm sorry, Cruz Azul fans, but I know your team's really good, but it's the unfortunate effect with the with Leon, and I might be wrong. I just might be wrong. And then the final matchup is fourth place Tigres taking on fifth place Necaxa. Normally, when you have the fourth and fifth place matchup, it should be the most tightly contested game. Um, we'll see, we'll see. But Tigres, they scored 24 goals this season. They have allowed 14 goals, so they're the second best defense in this group in Liga MX. They also have a goal differential of 10 goals. Now, Necaxa, on the other hand, have scored 36 goals. As a matter of fact, that makes them the second second best goal scoring team. The second best goal scoring team. Fun fact: the third best goal scoring team is Monterrey, who Toluca is facing. But 36 goals this season, 29 goals allowed. So defensively, not the best, giving them a 7 goal differential. This is where is the defense gonna be able to withstand this Necaxa attack? Necaxa is an interesting story, right? I mean, going back to the early days of Insert Name FC, we talked about how, people like Eva Longoria, Justin Verlander, Kate Upton, which I mean they're married together, so kind of double duo right there. Mesut Özil, I think I think it was I don't remember who was the fourth name. It's a football player, I think, an American football player. I just don't remember the guy's name now, but and then recently they got Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds in the mix now too. So they also added the Wrexham boys into this mixture for Necaxa. Now, do I know what they did? No. I mean, obviously, maybe invest some money, maybe try to change the culture there. I mean, I know Eva Longoria does go to matches for Necaxa, so yeah. I mean, I mean, this team used to be pretty low. I mean, they're not, fifth place is not a bad place to from where they were a few years ago. Um, but they can score goals. That is for a fact. They can score goals. They just maybe on the defensive side might be their weaker spot. But on the other hand, Tigres, they can defend. They don't really score a lot of goals, but I mean, 24 goals still is a pretty good, decent amount. Like it's not terrible, but the defense is definitely what clicks for Tigres. I think that's an important factor into this. Can Tigres I think in the event if it does become a shootout, can Tigres compete? And I think so. Yes, I think Tigres does have very much a team that can compete. They have the names as well. Gignac, Marcelo Flores, Diego Lainez. A lot of guys that have a lot of experience in this tournament. Maybe a little bit older, but still a lot of experience and knows how to compete in this tournament. Necaxa, this is still fairly new for them. I think experience does play a factor in them. But can they score goals? Yes, they can. The question is, can they stop some goals from entering their net? And I think that's going to be an important factor. I think it's still too early for Necaxa. I think that's really what it is. It is too early for them. So I'm going to pick Tigres. So at least my prediction. So what I'm predicting, and obviously this could age super poorly. I have Toluca, Club America, Club Leon, and Tigres. Though I will be pulling for Necaxa. I think that's a really cool story. Yes, I'm kind of simping for Eva Longoria. Hate me if you want, but it is what it is.
Who is that guy?